Las Vegas, the Aces, they found a way to pull a fast one. They pulled a fast one. This is a team that lost Kelsey Plum to a trade. They traded her, but they had some moves to make, and they made a good one. Their second round pick, I thought, was one of the more underrated picks of the draft. Um, Definitely an area of need, something that you would want to surround Asia Wilson with. And the Aces showed why, even though they are one of the more scumbaggy franchises in the league with their treatment of people, as with their situation with De'Erica Hamby, and the reason that they didn't have their first round pick because of that treatment of De'Erica Hamby, they know how to run a franchise when it comes to player, bringing in players. Um, Although I don't agree, I do think this had to also do with the fact that Jewel Lloyd, who's involved in that trade with Kelsey Plum, can't shoot. So you need to have some level of shooting out there. But the Aces hit it, man, on this one, in my opinion. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell if you haven't done so yet. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on these picks and this video. They drafted Aaliyah Nye out of Alabama, who most people were not talking about. Heck, I didn't know a whole lot about her. And then you find out that she's a 45% shooter from three-point range. And when you have that surrounding floor spacing for Asia Wilson, I think that is a really good idea to have a floor spacer like this on your team, someone who can come in almost immediately and make an impact. Like, she's a player that can come in and make an impact because shooting is shooting. If you could hit 45% of your threes, you're going to be an impact player in the league somewhere. You're going to stay in the league. No question about it. And I think they hit a home run on this one. There were so many teams that needed shooting, Chicago, and they didn't draft her. Just to shows you the difference in how a franchise is run. The Aces do have obviously Jackie Young, although she has suffered lots of injuries. So this can fit a spot there in the event that Jackie Young gets hurt again. They do have Chelsea Gray, who's coming off of an exceptional 2-month period at Unrivaled. And we might find out a lot more about Chelsea Gray if she can translate that scoring to the WNBA. But to bring on a shooter like this is big time, in my opinion. Like I said, Jewel Lloyd, she can't shoot. She can't shoot. So I think this is a good pickup for them. And they did add Dana Evans in the offseason, but yeah, she's going to be a player that at the very least can come off the bench and put the ball in the hole. She has a role. It's defined already. You know what it is. She's experienced. I think she played at least 5 years. Maybe she played 5 years or 6. Just to confirm. She played 5 years, 2 at Illinois, 3 at Bama. Averaged 15 points per game last year. Career 42% from 3 in college, 45% in 2 of the last 3 years from 3. It's a big time pickup to me. Now, they also got Harmony Turner out of Harvard. She's a scorer. How she'll make the team, though, is by being a pesky defensive player. She averaged 22.5 points per game last season on 5.5 boards. She shot 43.5%, 36% from 3. Question on her will be realistically how she handles not having the ball in her hands all game. And that's the biggest adjustment for players who are so used to being the focal point of the offense, being allowed to make mistakes and not worry about having to get sat on the bench if you screw up. And in a position like with the Aces, where they have some established players and you have an established starting point guard, she's going to be a player that comes off the bench, whether it's to bring energy. She's averages just about 4 assists a game, but she averages over 2 million. She led the conference in steals. She's career 2.4 steals per game. She does turn the ball over for compared assist to turnover ratio. But she's again, you're looking at a player that really comes down to how she adjusts to not having the ball in her hands the entire game, as was the case at Harvard. So, she's a shooting guard, but I wouldn't say she's not a great shooter for being a shooting guard. But again, energy player, passion, someone that's going to come off the bench, play defense. If she can do that, and if she continues to do everything that she did at Harvard, and understand you're not going to have that ball in your hands the whole game. You're not going to take 18, 19 shots per game. Like that's just not going to happen. You're going to take 5 shots, 6 shots, 7, 8 shots max. Like that's what you're looking at. You're not looking at 19 shots a game like she had last season at Harvard. You get that, you might have a player that can stick on this roster because their roster is not incredible by any means. And defensive players like this, I think, are very helpful. So I'm definitely interested to see if she makes the roster. I would think, see, to me, this was a draft that if you didn't draft with purpose, it made no sense because you can lock these players in for 4 years at this bargain rate in the draft because it's going to change next year. And you could have players that you have control over for 4 years. So I think that a lot of these players that went third round, second round, have a chance to make the team if they were drafted with purpose. Problem was, a lot of these players were not drafted with purpose. But I do think she's a good piece to put around someone like A'ja Wilson. And the combination of Nye and Turner, I think they did well with this draft. We'll see what happens. But you let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Hit the bell. I appreciate y'all. This is Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. Come on now.